Assalamu alaikum. Today you will learn about non-cooperation movement in the countryside. Let us start with Awadh. In Awadh, the movement was started led by Baba Ramachandra. He was a sannyasi. Earlier he was an indentured labor in Fiji. Here the movement was against talukdars and landlords. Why these villagers led the movement against these two people? Peasants were forced to pay high rent. Peasants were forced to do begar. Tenants had no security of tenure. Here the peasants were forced to pay high amount to landlords as a tax. And also they were forced to do work in the lands of landlord without any payment. Begar means work without payment. So here the villagers or the peasants were forced to do work in the lands of landlord without any benefit, without any payment. And tenants had no security of tenure. Here, those who are taking land from the landlords as a leased land, they had no security. They might have taken land for 1 year or a 2-year period. Before the completion of that period, they might evict from their land without any benefit. Sometimes it may be the time of harvesting. Before harvest their crop, they might evict from their land. That means they had no right over their land. So these were the reason why the people of Awadh started the revolt against talukdars and landlords. And let us see what were their demands. When the movement started, what they demanded. They demanded for the reduction of revenue. When they were forced to pay high tax, they asked to reduce the amount. The second one is abolition of begar. So they want to stop work without payment. And the third one is social boycott of oppressive landlord. What it means, social boycott? Social boycott means isolate or separate these landlords or talukdars from the society. So that were their another demand. When the movement started, in many places, Nai Dhobi Bandhs were organized by Panchayat to deprive landlords of the services of even barbers and washermen. It means to bring into practice social boycott of landlords and talukdars. To bring that into practice, Panchayat started Nai Dhobi Bandh organization. And they asked the people, asked the workers, stop serving talukdars and landlords. In olden days, like barbers and washermen, they were used to go to the richest home and they provided services in their home. So that kind of service should be stopped. So that was a work of Nai Dhobi Bandh organization. This organization asked the workers not to serve these talukdars and landlords. To bring into practice which one? Social boycott. To bring into practice, they started one organization known as Nai Dhobi Bandh. And that organization asked the workers not to serve talukdars and landlords. In June 1920, Jawaharlal Nehru began going around the villages in Awadh to understand their grievances. When Jawaharlal Nehru heard of these people's difficulties in Awadh, he visited to see the grievances. And to help them, he started Awadh Kisan Sabha. One organization known as Awadh Kisan Sabha was set up by Jawaharlal Nehru and Baba Ramachandra in the year 1920, in the month of October. The peasant movement, however, developed in forms that the Congress leadership was unhappy with. Here the movement was violent movement, not a non-violent movement. They were continued the violent movement against the talukdars and landlords. Actually, Congress was unhappy with that. Here we know that Mahatma Gandhi, he supported non-violent movement. He launched a non-violent movement. But here in Awadh, the people continued the violent movement against the talukdars and landlords. That's because the Congress was unhappy with that. How they were continued the movement. The houses of talukdars and merchants were attacked, bazaars were looted, and grain hoards were taken over. And even they refused to pay taxes. They thought that the Mahatma Gandhi will be given land. So that's because they were refused to pay the amount or taxes. This is the way they were continued the movement in Awadh. Next, the movement in Gudam Hills of Andhra Pradesh. Let us see what was the reason here why the villagers started the revolt or a movement against British. The first reason is forest law. You already learned about the forest law in 9th standard. According to forest law, the villagers were not allowed to enter into the forest and they were never allowed to graze their animal. They were not allowed to collect pure woods or the fruits, whatever they need from the forest. So it means that they lost their livelihood. The forest people, they depend forest to live by grazing their animals, collecting their things from the forest. So when they were not allowed to enter in forest, they lost their livelihood. So that is one reason why these people start the movement, the forest law. The second one, the villagers were forced to contribute begar for road building. Here, when the British started to construct road, these people were forced to work under the British without payment. So that is another reason why these people started the movement. In Gudam Hills of Andhra Pradesh, the movement was led by Alluri Sitaram Raju. He was an interesting person. How he was an interesting person? Because he himself declared that he had a lot of powers. He had a variety of special powers. He could make correct astrological predictions, heal people, and he could survive bullet shots. He himself declared that he said to people that he could predict the future of people and he can heal people, means he can cure diseases, and he could survive even bullet shots. So that's because people believed that, they proclaimed that he was an incarnation of God. Attracted by the words of Raju, people considered him as an incarnation of God. Incarnation means visible form of God. That means people believed that he had the quality of God in him. This time Raju got inspired by Mahatma Gandhi and his non-cooperation movement. When he heard of Gandhi and non-cooperation movement, he got inspired and he persuaded the people to wear khadi and give up drinking. He also asserted that India could be liberated only by use of force. According to Raju, India could attain Swaraj only through force, not by non-violent movement. He never supported non-violent movement. He wanted a violent struggle against the British to gain independence. So he was good at guerrilla, and in Gudam Hills of Andhra Pradesh, people carried on guerrilla warfare against the British, but Raju was executed in 1924. The next is movement in Assam, Swaraj in the plantations. For the plantation workers in Assam, freedom meant the right to move freely in and out of the confined space in which they were enclosed. It means that they were confined, they were enclosed in one place where they worked. They were never allowed to move freely in and out of this confined space. How this happened? This is because of Inland Emigration Act of 1859. Under the Inland Emigration Act of 1859, plantation workers not permitted to leave tea gardens without permission, and in fact they were rarely given such permission. Because of this act, for these plantation workers meant freedom as right to move freely and in and out of the confined space. So that's because they meant freedom as move freely in and out. Because of this act, which act? Inland Emigration Act of 1859. Because of this act, they were never allowed to move freely. They never allowed to move their home. from this tea garden. They got permission, but that was rarely. They have to ask many times to get that permission. So that was the reason they thought freedom as freedom of movement in and out, or they considered Swaraj as freedom of movement. And when these people, when they heard of non-cooperation movement and Mahatma Gandhi, thousands of workers defied the authorities and left the plantations and headed home. They thought that they would be given land in their own village by Gandhi Raj. By thinking that, they defied the authorities and left the plantations, headed home. But they, however, never reached their destination. They were caught by the police and brutally beaten up. Next, interpretation of Swaraj. You have learned 3 movements in the countryside. One is Awadh, Gudam Hills of Andhra Pradesh, and movement in Assam. In the 3 examples, you have learned how these villagers interpreted the term Swaraj, how they have seen the term Swaraj. It was different from movement in towns. In town area, the people continued the movement how Mahatma Gandhi proposed. But in villages, the people used their own ways. They have seen Swaraj in their own ways. The villagers interpreted the term Swaraj in their own ways. How? For them, it to be a time when all suffering and troubles would be over. For the villagers, Swaraj means free from all kind of difficulties and troubles they were facing. So to free from that difficulties, what they have done, they chanted Gandhiji's name and raised slogans demanding Swatantra Bharat. Chanted means repeated. They repeated the name of Gandhi, like Gandhiji, 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 like they repeated to free from the difficulties. And also raised their slogans demanding Swatantra Bharat. And this is the way they were emotionally connected with the movement and acted in the name of Gandhi. So this is the way they have seen Swaraj. Swaraj, for them, Swaraj means free from all kinds of difficulties they were facing. So that was the reason they repeated the name of Gandhi and raised the slogans demanding Swatantra Bharat. So emotionally they were connected with this movement. That's because they continued the violent movement against the British and against the Taluks and landlords. So they were emotionally connected. So the movement went beyond the limit. What Mahatma Gandhi accepted or expected, that was not happened in the countryside. They were continued the violent movement, and sometimes it went beyond the limit.